Hey guys, Toby Morrison here. Welcome to today's educational video on breaking the rest cycle. So I've just done a little bit of grade 4 handwriting here on the whiteboard, and pretty much what I want to talk about is knowing when to rest, but also knowing when to break the rest cycle, because sometimes we can get stuck in a pattern that doesn't serve us for our recovery or for our benefit over a period of time. And what I see with a lot of my clients, or mainly people who don't work with me, they sit and they rest and they rest and they rest, and then they wonder why they don't progress. And that rhymes. But a lot of doctors say, and medical professions say that, if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome, all you need to do is rest. And that's not true, because if we rest too much, what happens is we sleep too much. We can have kind of raw excess energy, which we kind of get nervous with and we don't know what to do with. What happens, for some people, we have no major symptoms, but at the same time, if you rest too much, it actually lowers your immune system. And also, the biggest problem that I see is deconditioning of the body. Now, deconditioning for a period of time is fine, it's not an issue, because sometimes our body needs to rest if we're in that viral state or an infection state, and you definitely need to rest. And it's really all about appropriateness. Now, I'm going to do two videos for this. This is part one, and I'm going to do part two and tell you what to do when you break the rest cycle, because it's important to know exactly what to do to help you get out of this situation. Now, if you're an online member, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because like I said before, if you rest too much, it's not good, but if you do too much, it's also not good either. So like I said before, it's all about appropriateness for you. But in order to break the rest cycle, what you need to realize that is, yes, I am sleeping too much. If you're sleeping, and then resting all day and not doing anything at all, but you don't have any major symptoms and you do have excess energy, and you're starting to decondition, meaning that your body's starting to feel weak and tired and lethargic, but also you might have muscle aches and pains. You might actually have lower back pain because you're sitting around and lying down so much that those muscles get weakened. They're good signs when you need to break the rest cycle. When you shouldn't break the rest cycle is when you need to sleep a lot. When you actually, you feel so tired and so fatigued that you just need to listen to your body and surrender to the fatigue and actually enjoy that deep rest that you're actually craving. If you're lacking in a huge amount of energy, like you literally feel like lifting your head is really hard, these are things where you need to actually rest more and listen to your body. If you have major symptoms where your throat's sore and your glands are swollen and your muscles are aching constantly, not just for a short period of time, but for a chronic long period of time over 3 to 4 days onwards, and also if you're allowed to rest if your body's still functioning and you're still moving a little bit here and there. It's just that if you sit still for, let's say, 3 to 4 months or even longer, and really reverse atrophy, which is muscle deconditioning, what actually happens? It actually happens within 2 weeks for a healthy person. So you can imagine a lot of people with chronic fatigue syndrome lose their stamina, strength, and ability and functioning quite quickly, but over a long period of time, it's hard to get started again. And that's where I'm going to share with you on part 2 on how to progress with that, how to break the cycle, and how to start a plan that's going to suit you in moving forwards with your recovery, with your health. And like I said before, there's no wrong or right. It's about working with you to what is appropriate for you right now. Okay? But like I said before, if you are sleeping too much and you don't need to, if you've got excess energy and you don't know what to do with it, that's a great sign that you probably could start doing something again on a lower level to start with, on a safe, effective level, which I'll talk about in part 2. No major symptoms. So if you're waking up and you're kind of going, apparently I've got chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, but I feel pretty fine, that's a great sign that we can start the progressive period of your recovery program, okay? And there's cycles. There's cycles of rest, there's cycles of work, and there's cycles of play. The most important thing is to figure out what cycle you need to do and when you need to do it, okay? And the first key to all of this is awareness within yourself, awareness within your body, and going, okay, what's actually going on with me right now? How do I actually feel? How does my body feel? How's my mental emotional state? How's my digestive system working? And when you can figure that out on a holistic level, you can start to do things that are appropriate for you and start to move you forwards in the right direction. This is a really boring topic, but a really important topic, because if you don't break the rest cycle, you're most likely going to stay where you're at for a very long period of time. Because if you're not actually adapting to a stress response, and a stress response is a really good thing, okay, it can be as long as we're doing it in the appropriate manner, then we're not going to grow, okay? So if you look at a tree, when we plant it, the seed is very small, but when it grows over a period of time through winter, summer, autumn, spring, what happens is that those plants grow bigger and bigger and bigger through little amounts of stress and adaptation. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and that's why you see trees out the front of the street that have been there for 30 or 40 years, and no kind of wind or any kind of gale force weather is really going to affect it dearly. And that's what I mean. This is why it's so important to get this right, because if you sit still for too long, you're just going to have more problems. You're going to have more deconditioning, you're going to have chronic lower back pain. I know a lot of people with chronic fatigue syndrome have lower back pain. Muscle problems, reconditioning, you'll have, you're more likely to get injured because you don't have any muscle conditioning in your system. Now, it's not about pushing yourself and exerting heaps of energy, it's just about building up in an appropriate manner. Make sure you watch part 2, because I'll teach you in part 2 exactly what you need to do to progress from where you're at, from this resting stage, and then you'll be able to balance the two. You'll be able to rest and you'll be able to work and progress. I hope that helps. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care.